afternoon, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Ilkay here from Thailand. I hope you can see me. I hope hope you're doing well. When I'm here in Thailand, which is Sunday, and I'm in my little cubby hole at the moment. For instance, made my little makeshift cubby hole at the moment because it's one I'm and when I'm it's Sunday, and on Sunday, what's it all the Thai people have days off, and they make a lot of noise and etc. So, for instance, and yeah, exactly. But it's the way it is. It's just the way it is when you live in a Thai area, for instance, and you just have to accept it. But so I've got to come down here so you can hear me. Anyway, so I'm just watching TV at the moment. The Americans dropped the bomb on Iran. Yeah, go on, get there. Oh, decisive action. That's what you need. Anyway, so it's PES conference time. Yes. So for instance, so we're playing tomorrow at 8 a.m. and I was so much looking forward to it. 8 a.m. in the morning, sorry, 8 a.m. for me, 2 o'clock for you in the UK, 8 a.m. for me, which is brilliant. I can wake up, sit down, put on the TV, for instance, my little widescreen TV, and sit there and watch the football. But you know what? For us, my ball and chain, she's off. She's got a day off, right? And guess what she likes to do on a day off? Sleep in late. So, for instance, but she's promised that she's going to wake up at 8 o'clock so I can watch the game at 8 o'clock. So she's going to be grumpy as long as she has a coffee. She got a coffee yesterday. So, but but regardless, but I just want to watch it on a normal TV screen. And get prepared, and watch the previews of the games, watch MCFC TV, LB, Tropical City, for instance, for instance, and get myself built up to the game, etc. For instance, and have a beer, I've been stared at, but no, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to stick it in my coffee. Anyway, it's it's 8 o'clock in the morning, for instance, for me, and at this amazing Mercedes-Benz stadium. And have you seen it, my Christ, what a stadium! These Americans know how to make these stadiums. I was looking at the Etihad Stadium, and the Etihad Stadium is they're getting the roof down. For instance, the old part of the roof down. They've been doing it bit by bit. And this guy, for instance, I think does CPC overviews, etc. For instance, he's been doing it, been there while they've been taking it down. Does a good job, really. Of the development of the stadium, and it looks really, really good. And watching the old parts of the roof coming down, and they take it across, and the thing is, when you're living in Thailand, etc., you see the way the Thais work. For instance, they'll wear, hats and things over their head, etc. That's it. But they'll normally wear t-shirts and shorts. No protective equipment, no nothing. They wear outfits all over the place, etc. For instance, they're doing a bit of work over here at the moment. And there's no protective equipment, and they don't use Thessalian torches and it's but then you see how the Brits work, etc. Everything's all nice and planned and everything. There's nothing out of place. They've been put over here or put over there. Health and safety. Everybody's wearing high vis. Just come over here and it's like people are hanging off ladders and and honestly, so funny. It's so funny, especially when you have a look at the Thai cables, etc. They're not electricity cables; they are cables for telephone wires and TV cables. They're not electric, but they're all in there. Thailand's quite famous for it. They're sticking them all on the ground at the moment, but it's going to take a while. But it's very funny the way it's done. But anyway, to get to the point is the fact that, for instance, they're bringing the old part of the roof down and they're putting up the new roof, and it looks like connected up, so it's both sides. But it looks amazing. It really does, and it's going to be brilliant with the 6,000 extra seats. Then you got but then I'm looking at this Mercedes-Benz stadium, and apart from it's red, and it's like it looks like Ai Ain Stadium, the Ai Ain Stadium. For instance, but it looks good, and it has this beautiful roof over the top. It looks round, and with this TV screens going around. It looks brilliant, superb, and so I think it's amazing. So hell of a stadium, but massive, too big for I don't know really, but whatever. It is what it is. For instance, some games are going to be. I'm not going back onto that nonsense about it's the media crap. And there's going to be empty seats regardless. I'm sick and tired of people carrying empty seats. It's just so stupid. Anyway, for instance, Pep Guardiola was in his press conference, and he's had a chat about a few things. He's had some good questions, and he's had the usual bad questions. We'll go with the good questions at first. It was asked about the fact that the players, and looks like it's going to be a 10. He's going to, which I expected, because I think Al Ain, not disrespect for them, yeah, I don't think they're as good as Al Wydad, or whatever you want to call them, AWC, the Casablanca side. I think they're a bit of a whipping boy, so hopefully we can get score a few goals before we play Juventus. But I think, for instance, so he is playing a kind of like experimental squad, like he did against the first team. And even though he's been called out and Sky and Talksport, all called out the Man City squad, and all the defence looks leaky. The defence, my God, apart from Nathan Ake, as anybody else, or Rico Lewis, etc., was good. He playing in that kind of in that defensive role. No, come on, unbelievable. You know, Reese's first game, first 90 minutes, etc. But he's just, honestly. So I expect a different kind of. He said he was talking about 10 different players as well tomorrow. So I expect Stefan Ortega was going to play in goal tomorrow. And because again, for instance, he will give everybody I think he's looking at player welfare. He's also looking at, for instance, give everybody a try. He's also trying to pick who's going to turn up for the new season, who's going to be the one of the cut-off list. Because he did talk about the size of the squad again, and I think that he's going to lead the media chat again on talk crap, etc. And because they're going to be chatting about Man City's a big squad and whatever. And the thing is, you talk about Chelsea's last season, and all teams have this. You can't have, and it's not like Pep wants a small. He wants a manageable squad, right? But the thing is also, he's got to think about the fact that even though we had a small squad last season, smaller, even though we had enough players, as soon as we got a few injuries, and we had a lot of injuries last season, for instance, it made a massive difference to the season. And regardless, even though Arsenal had the odd injury here and there and whatever, but for instance, Man City, for instance, had a lot of injuries yesterday to key players, and long-term injuries like Bob and Rodri. So, for instance, he's got to have that balance. So I'm sure, for instance, he's probably thinking about the same thing. But again, he can't be criticised or talked about or whatever. He's got to. He's saying how many players are going to stay, how many go in and go. For instance, talk about John Stones at the moment. But John Stones is brilliant. Johnny Stones. We love you, Johnny Stones. But the problem is John Stones can't play 3 games in a row, unfortunately. What's it called? He's not fit enough. But when he does play, he's brilliant. What's it called? But unfortunately, he can't play. So we can't. Because it's about reliability, for instance. And we got to play, people talk about his age. I don't think age comes into it. What's it called? When you look at the people like Ronaldo, you look at Messi and blah, blah, blah. So, for instance, I don't think age is it. Look at me. I'm 60 years old, etc. I've just spent the last 2 hours brushing leaves and cleaning up the house. So, for instance, and then now I'm talking to you guys. So, come on, it's. But I think it's all about, for instance, but we've got to manage the squad, and that's all. I think it's just managing the squad and find out who's the best players, who needs loaning out. I think he's changed his mind on Victor Rice now. For instance, so after his performance, again, a guy stepped up, and hopefully the other players will do the same thing. So I'll hopefully see Kuzanov in the squad. I want to see, for instance, Garcia in the squad tomorrow. For instance, Rodri will not start because, again, for instance, he's easing it back in. Brilliant, which it needs to be done. 25 minutes or whatever, but it also needs to get his passing back. It's it's going to take him time before he gets back in. Oscar Barb as well, but so we'll see. They were asking about Ilkay Gundo. Again, these links are stronger links. People are actually putting Ilkay Gundo in the Galatasaray top. He doesn't know. I'm sure he does know something, but maybe I don't know. Ilkay Gundo is in USA at the moment with the squad. Whether, for instance, he's going to stay or go, I don't know. But for instance, I think Pep wants to keep him, but again, for instance, this is what do you call it? This is Galatasaray. This is his boyhood club. So, for instance, he's half Turkish, half German. So, for instance, he's he wants to go, then there you go. But I hope he comes back as a coach, mate. If he comes. Right. Pep Guardiola was asking about if, for instance, would he like to manage in South America. He said, yeah, why not? But the thing is, he says, why not, like, being kind. Of course he's going to say why not. And of course he's going to say, yeah, I'd love to do so. For instance, it's like when he was asked if he'd like to go to Tunis in the last press conference. Of course he's going to say, I would like to manage in the, for instance, because it's been kind, it's been nice. He's probably wants to retire from football after this, I don't know, but you never know. But he is showing great respect for the South American football, because quite honestly, for instance, I am as well, because I think some of the South American football and some of will teach the Europeans a lesson. Okay, and Bayern Munich yesterday had a hell of a game. And just got through. But showing their edge against was it Boca Juniors yesterday? So I do think it's going to be between a European or a South American team who's going to win it. So, but again, you've got to be on it. I was listening to Harry Kane's press conference, and he said you've got to be on it. And I've said this all along. If you're not on it, City decides to go walk in there, and not be clued in and not have your training right, not have your, for instance, they're not adapted to the climate, then you'll struggle. Carly Salvacos. Oh, for flip's sake, let me just have a quick chat with this guy. It's just ridiculous, honestly. There we go, for instance. He sits there in his black suit and his white tie, his white shirt, for instance, on Sky Sports. And calm, complex, knowledgeable Carly Salvacos, and talking to a bimbo girl in the presenter in Sky Sports. He's had all week since the last press conference to come up with a proper question, an important question. He knows a lot about City. He lives in England, for instance, or I expect him to live in England. He works with Sky Sports, blah, blah, blah. He knows a lot about, compared to the guy, the Swedish presenter, the person who asked to talk, and a guy, for instance, from the Middle East asked a question as well. His question, what a stupid, and I only bet that's his best question. That's his best question. That's all he's got to come up with. Again, it's stupid. For instance, as you didn't win anything last season, where Pep Guardiola absolutely did, we did win something last season. We won the Charity Shield, which is more than what Arsenal did. We had more wins than Arsenal, and we actually got to the final, FA Cup final, for instance, won the Charity Shield. Don't make no difference. We still won something. Arsenal didn't win anything, but they're going to, we had a great season. Anyway, but Carly Salvacos, that's all he could come up with. Would you say that the winning the Club World Cup would make up for last season? It's just like, it's stupid, dumbass question. Look, listen, this is the thing, right? You win the Premier League, you win the Champions League, or the FA Cup, right? The first two, basically. And qualify for the Champions League next season. Okay, these are the when you can say, if you win either one of these, or two of these, or three of these, etc., then you've had a good season. If you don't win any one of these, right, then, for instance, you haven't had a good season. Period. Right? I was listening to Arsenal fans yesterday, for instance, on Pots's TV, and there was an Arsenal fan, and the Arsenal fan sat there talking about how they need to win next season. We need to win. And then he said, come up with this question to Potts, and he said, if we win the League Cup and they come second, is that a good season for Arsenal? And Potts went, that's a good question. No, it isn't. You haven't won anything for 5 seasons or so, but you're going to sit there and say that, for instance, that might be a good season. If you win the League Cup and then get to and get second, that's a good season. What are you planning? It's just unbelievable. This is Arsenal. If Man City do not win any of those, I want Man City to go out and win everything next season. Absolutely everything. After the season what we had and the crap we've had from the media and for our rivals, I want City to win the 4. Right? Everything. Right? Everything. So, for instance... Anyway, so I think we're City to win everything. Right? But the fact is, if we don't, then, for instance, it's not been a good season. So... and that's it. For instance, like that, we've got to win the Premier League or the Champions League next season to be a good season, to be called a good season, to make up for this season, for the previous season. So, Carly Salvacos, do me a favour, just think of a better question than that. A stupid, dumbass question to say. All the people have asked that question throughout the season. If you win in the FA Cup, would it make up for the fact that no, you've asked Bernardo Silva. He said, no. So why can't you come up with a better question than that, Carby? Honestly. Yeah, John Stones, Rodri won't start, Ilkay Gundo, and we chatted about that. A lot of respect for Ai Ain, for the connection over with Abu Dhabi, yeah. Okay, dokie. And he talked about Mcatee, who's his birthday. But I would rather talk about somebody else who's his birthday, and his name is Rodri, and it's his birthday. Happy birthday, Rodri. I hope you're doing well, mate. What's it called? Happy birthday to you, sir. Phil Foden, one day I'd love to coach. He's having a chat at the moment. One day I would love to coach young kids in the academy. I really love, for instance, like that. Yeah, so for instance, but really, it was an okay press conference. Again, so not fantastic. What's it called? Not a lot, information, for instance, but what I expected. But again, for instance, I expected us to go with the 10 different players, for instance, and tomorrow more of an experimental. Expect at least a 3-0 victory tomorrow. What's it called? Hopefully Holland will get on the score sheet and see how Shirky plays. I think Cersei will play again. Reinders was superb in the first game. What's it called? Nathan played well. I expect to see Diaz and Guardiola, Klaus Kuzinov tomorrow, for instance, and and the preparations is going very well. He was asked about the players bored. Nah, you're kidding me, are you? Absolutely bored in America, for instance, all that. God, no chance. But no, I'm expecting a good game, and City to win the game quite comfortably. But so for instance, I'd be very surprised. There's some City fans and our MCFC lads is out there at the moment going down, and a few other people are jumping on planes and going now. I think people are getting more into the games now. I'm not surprised really, because I think what's it called? It's hotting up now. There's some really, really good games now, and let's go to the results yesterday. Let's have a quick look. Oh, the results. We just had a game finished up with scores and results. England played yesterday. James Mcatee scored in the 10th minute. England beat Spain 3-1. Well done, England. I think they got through to the semi-final, I'm not sure. In the World Cup Group E, River Plate versus Monterrey. What's the goal was this morning? Group E, 0-0. Inter Milan played Usari. I think they were the whipping boys of that group. So Inter Milan go 2-1. Group F, Melody 3, Dortmund 4. Just got through Dortmund. But again, you walk in, if you walk in tired, etc. For instance, you're not prepared. Again, what Pep said, you're not prepared, you're going to struggle. Fluminense 4-2 over Ulsan, which is let's go there. Yeah, so Fluminense good. Let's have a look at the groups. I'll come back tomorrow. But it's going to be good. Question than Carlos Albacosta today. If it was me, I would be asking off my top of my head, what question would I be asking Pep Guardiola? It would be off the top of my head would be for instance. Think of one now. I'm going to think of loads. But no, I'm sorry. What's it called? You give me 5 minutes to No, I would ask, for instance, how is settling in with the new coaches? For instance, he did it. How is it settling in with the new coaches? Are you having any creative differences? Something like that. Something like that. Or. For instance, are you forming a different way of playing football next season? Like either more fast attacking, or something like that. Better than if you win the Pure World Cup. Sorry, I'm just going to go. Anyway, guys, I'm going to love you and leave it. I could rant on. I just drive me mad. The British media drive me mad. They really do. It's just ridiculous. And Anyway, guys. Have you seen that, by the way? What's it called? Florian Wirtz is supposed to be the British transfer record, right? 116 million. But for some strange reason, Jack Grealish cost Man City 118 million. Where the hell are they getting that from? I thought it was 100 million quid, now it's 118 million. Where did that extra 8 million come from? Huh? Oh, 18 million, not 8 million, 8 million. It's been saying that Jack Grealish cost Man City 100 million, 100 million, 100. And now, for instance, Florian Wirtz come on. Now they're saying Jack Grealish cost 118 million. What? Huh? What the flipping heck? You know, for instance. And again, it's just the media or somebody's putting out saying, I was going, now Jack Grealish cost Man City more than Florian Wirtz did. So, you know, oh God, it's unbelievable. Crap! Anyway, I'm not buying it at all. So anyway, living in Libya, I'll talk to you tomorrow, True Blue Tie from Thailand. Enjoy your Sunday, Mcatee. And yeah, a bit cloudy here at the moment. For instance, it's going to rain. Hopefully I'm going to go out running later on if it starts raining. Brilliant. So guys, living in Libya, True Blue Tie from Thailand. Take care. I'll speak to you tomorrow.